Good morning, guys. So this is going to be part 5 and will be the last part of the fencing. I didn't expect it to be this many parts, but I guess there was more to it than I thought. So that's going to be it, the final episode of the fencing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't already. So what I'm doing now is I'm going around to all the sections of fencing that I stretched out already, and I have my big tape measure here, and basically I'm marking off. I'm adding a little piece of electrical tape, which you see right here, every 10 foot. So I'm trying to figure out how many T-posts I'm going to need. So I went around the whole front of the yard. That ended up being 50 feet between the two sections of wood posts. So I'm going to need 4 posts there. The side over here ended up being 60 feet, so I'm going to need 5 posts there. And then up here on this section, this is about 20 feet, so I'm going to need just 1 T-post in the middle. I still need to get 2 T-posts for the left side of the driveway down at the bottom. So that is 11 T-posts, I think, somewhere around there. 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's what I'm going to be working on. Also, let me flip this around. Also, I'm going to be working on the section by the driveway that will ultimately be a stairwell. I have no idea when I'm going to actually put that stairwell in. It's most likely going to be concrete, because trying to do a wooden stairwell on that span is going to be pretty difficult unless I go in and put in several more supports, which is a possibility. I don't know. I'm not really thinking about that right now. But what I do need to do is I need to put in a section of fencing on the side that's closest to the road, because that will be basically that will be the only open spot of fencing. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do there. I think in the meantime, I'm just going to get like a 20-foot 2x6 or a couple of them, and then run them from one pole down to the lower pole, the top pole to the bottom, and then put some fencing on there. So I'll just cut a section of the fencing, of this fencing here, and then I will tack it in there. It'll be at an angle, but it'll be secure so that the dogs can't get through there. And temporarily, I stretched a piece of chicken wire across here, which is really not stretched. I basically did this because I let the chickens out, and I let them wander, and they always seem to get up here where all of this green is, which is kind of a mud hole right now. So I just put this up there to keep them kind of inside. Once I do open up the yard, or basically what I have left to open up the yard is I got to take this section of fencing, unhook it from the house there around the catchment tank, and then pull it up to this corner. So I have to kind of stretch it, secure it on this corner. I'm going to have to put some kind of temporary T-post or something in here to hold it upright, but I want to make sure that I put it far enough back so that when I actually start working on the garage slab, it's not in the way. Also, when that happens, the section that's on this side of the house, it's basically attached to that front corner of the house, and it's running temporarily up to the post where the top of the stairwell will be. That section is going to get removed. Part of it I will use for the stairwell section of fencing. The other part is going to get attached up here temporarily. Down the road, I will probably buy an actual gate for this, but in the meantime, I don't really need it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to staple it in on this side. I'm going to take a couple 2x4s, which this is just a scrap one that I used for cement. I will put them together just like I do when I'm stretching the fence, and then I'll just put a strap on here going around that post just to pull this tight. So that way this section of fencing will be secure too. Then the whole yard will be fenced in, and then the dogs can run free. All right, so just to cover this again, this is the section I'm talking about where I will eventually have stairs. And basically what this is just, it's close to the gate. So, no, YV came down, I'll have to cut that. So when neighbors come over or whatever, that way they can just go up the stairs and straight to the front door, rather than walking all the way up around to the back door of the house. So what's going to happen is I'm going to get like a 20-foot 2x6 because this span is about 19 feet or so. I measured it this past week, and basically I'm going to run a 2x6 from here down to here, and then I'll cut it so that it's in line with the posts, and then I'll probably put one down low, one up high if I can get around that branch, because that branch is kind of sticking out from, if you look where the posts are. So yeah, you can barely even see the post there. So that might get a little tricky, and now that I'm looking at it, I see even on the bottom the root of that. So it would have been nice if I would have put that post a little further this way, or this post a little further this way. So that was just a miscalculation on my part, but all this was full of ferns at the time, so I guess I couldn't really see it that clearly. So anyway, I'll figure that out, and then I'll get a section of fencing in here. All right, so it's the next day. The first thing I'm gonna have to do, I guess, to get started on this is break down this section here. I had to do like a little reinforcement there because the dogs figured out they could get under the fence there. So I'm going to disconnect it from the house over here, pull all this stuff out, and then it's going to get stretched up to that corner up there. So that'll be like the first thing, I guess, actually opening up the yard. So once I do that, then the whole yard's going to be open to the dogs. For the most part, everything else is closed off. It's just this big section right here is open, so I want to get that somewhat closed off before I let them roam free. The only other spot that's going to be open is going to be where I just showed down by the gate, in between those two posts on the top of the hill and bottom of the hill. So I'm going to get started pulling this stuff apart and then getting it stretched over. It was freezing this morning, by the way. It was like 52 degrees. Yeah, I know some people watch that are back in the Midwest and the mainland. And it's snowing. Anyway, let me get started on the fence. Whew. Okay, so I'm up top. I got that fencing pulled around, disconnected from the house, pulled over to this side. So now I need to get it unrolled and then brought up to this corner. I'm going to have to... Hi, Hati. I'm going to have to put some T-posts or something in the hill here so that the fencing is back, because I don't want it to be in the way once I start working on the garage slab here, because the slab is going to come back to, I don't know, somewhere in here. So I want to make sure the fencing is beyond that. Also, I just wanted to say that this section of fencing is going to be temporary. So once the garage is built, or at least the back wall of it is built, this piece of fencing will be gone. It'll actually get terminated on that post over there. And then my initial plan was to continue this retaining wall around the catchment tank, and it was going to meet up with the fence over there. But I think now I'm just going to have this go straight along this side, and then that'll be the wall for where the slab will be poured. And then I will just add fencing in from that post up to this retaining wall. Most likely is what will happen. Whew. Oh my gosh. This thing is so heavy. Hard to work with. Okay, so this section of fencing is basically just rolled out over to here. Now I got to work on, I guess, trying to get some T-posts in the ground just to keep this vertical, and also so that it's close to the ground so that the dogs don't try to go under it. Uh-oh. Chicken scrapping. All right, so now that that fence in the back is loosely in place, I can pull off this piece for good, I guess. I don't know why you ran all the way around the fence when you could have just went right there. Silly dog. Okay, so this one is just held on by a couple of staples on that post there. This section is going to get removed, and then I'm going to use part of this to go between that post down to the driveway post. And I also have a 20-foot 2x6, which is sitting on the ground over there. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. So I'm going to basically just run one kind of as a reinforcement. And then I may end up just doing the stairwell independently, not actually between the posts like I was originally thinking. Okay. Well, that has been there for a long time. Don't know what the dogs are going to do now. Just sitting on the porch like a good boy, huh? So I took the fence down and Skull's just watching me. I figured he'd go running out, but he's like, sun feels good. Okay, so I have this part totally loose. I started feeding it down here. So what I'm going to do basically is I'm going to attach it down there at the bottom with some staples, and it's going to be on an angle, so I will trim off the extra. And then this 2x6 I'm going to screw into the post about halfway up the fence, I guess, so that it fits in this little notch of the tree here, because I think that's the only part where, you know, a piece is going to be able to get by. And then I will tack some staples on the back side of this beam to hold the fence in place. So yeah, I'm going to attach it down there first. I'll stretch it up to this one, attach it, and then just trim off the extra pieces. All right, so I have a couple of staples in place down here. I'm going to go in and kind of try and stretch it a little bit up to there, just to get it straight and make sure that the angle on this is okay as far as how I have it tacked. You can see how, if I turn the camera, you can see how much excess is on the top here. The bottom is almost in line with the post. So let me go back up to the top and try and pull this tight, see how it looks. All right, so I got this section trimmed up, and this is definitely not how it's gonna look, but this will work for right now. I think eventually I'm going to add in another post or something in here, and I'm gonna do some vertical pieces of wood, and then the wire mesh will just be totally gone. Going around this tree is going to be pretty problematic. Either that, or I may put another post out here and bring it up to this way and then over, but I'm not sure what that's going to do to this side, so we'll see. Like I said, I think I'll end up building just kind of a standalone stairway in here, not all the way between these posts like I thought I was going to do, but that's where it is now. So it works. So this is our new baby girl pup. Her name is Luna. She's about 6 months old. We just got her today. Psst, psst, psst. Luna, come here. Come here, girl. She's super sweet. Not like this little a-hole right here. It's just bugging the crap out of her. Oh, what the heck. We have a visitor. It's a fucking pig. It's the first time I've ever seen a pig on this property. Wow. There's like 6 of them.
I've never seen.
It's a whole family.
They're so close.
All right, so I'm at the point now where the fence is completely done. I'm still working on this section here, but basically what's going to happen is a section of this fencing I'm going to attach over here. I'm going to put 2 2x4s or 2x3s on this end, similar to when I'm stretching it, and then basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a strap from that 2x4 around this post, so that it'll pull that section tight, but if I need to get in there, I can remove that and open it up. And that, of course, will be temporary till we actually get a gate put in here, which I'm not in any big rush to do that because we're not ready to, you know, move past this section right now. So for the most part, it's going to be just shut all the time. And of course, dogs are always challenging the fence first night that this was all open, they found a way out right here because the way that this ground is here, there's a lot of dips. So in between these two posts, there was, you know, about a 6 to 8 inch gap under the fence. Hi, Luna. Hi, baby girl. You like the sun? That's our new pup. So I just stacked a bunch of rocks up there, and it's been a few more nights and they haven't gotten out of the yard. So the thing that I have left to do basically is start doing T-posts all the way around the front of the yard. I still have 2 T-posts on the left side of the driveway going down. But that's pretty much it. So I will reinforce this a little bit, but for the most part, this is probably going to just stay like this. The dogs are not going in there. I put a couple big rocks in there to hold it in place. This is a pretty steep hill right here. I know it doesn't really show up on video that well, but this is not a spot where they really try to get out. So this will most likely stay like this till I start working on the garage pad, which will hopefully be soon. Finally get started on that. So the remainder of this video is just going to be putting in T-posts. So I'll do a little bit of footage of that. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time doing it. You saw earlier in the video how I was using my portaband to cut off the spade on the T-post, on the bottom of the T-post, so that I can drill the hole. Oh, that's nice. So that I can drill the hole with my hammer drill and then pound turn the camera around, I guess. So that I drill the hole with my hammer drill and then I pound in the T-post and then put the clips on it and it's done. So all in all, the fence, like I said, is done all the way around the perimeter for the front area of the house. I have to say the dogs have been loving it. They're running all around, you know, which is something especially Skull has not been used to, because he would always take off. So we would always have him on a leash or on a cable whenever the dogs were out. Hati never really wandered unless Skull did, then he would follow. So anyway, I'm gonna get started on these T-posts and get the fence reinforced the rest of the way around the yard, this area here, and then around the front of the house as well. Yeah. Good morning. Well, it is early Friday morning. That little last clip, YouTube sends out these little emails to cheer you on, I guess. But anyway, I hit 500 subscribers, so that's pretty cool. Thanks for that. This is pretty much going to wrap up this video. I have all of the T-posts in. I have all my standard posts in. All the fencing is run. The only thing really that I have left to do is to trim, you know, the tops of the posts and the T-posts, you know, to the height that I want, which will end up being, I think the T-posts I'm going to cut about 4 inches above the fence line, and then the wooden posts maybe about 6 to 8 inches above the fence line. So I'm not going to bother putting that in this video. I'll just do an update, you know, later on, maybe when I start doing the main gate. I'll do a quick walkthrough or just show, you know, getting everything cut down. So that is it for this series of videos. I guess this was 5 videos putting up all the perimeter fencing. It was a lot of work, but the dogs are so much more happier. They're all running around, especially Skull. He was always on a leash, you know, before, so he gets to run free now. And other than the one first night when they had got out, they haven't gotten out since. So, and that's been well over a week ago now. So, or maybe about 9 days, something like that. But anyway, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. And also, today is my birthday, February 12th. So, yeah, I'm gonna go do some more work, I guess. Happy birthday. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Aloha.